Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome everybody to our July Chamber Luncheon. What a great crowd we have. You know, this is the size of the room that it was for years, but since we've had the whole room for the last year, it seems kind of small, doesn't it? But this is the normal size that our room used to be pre-COVID. So we're back to that. We've increased the number of seats at our tables, and I'm really excited to see everybody. We've got a great program for you today. First and foremost, open up with our prayer from the Bridge Community Fellowship, Pastor Joe Altman.
Good afternoon. I'm glad to see everyone that's here today. I want to thank you. Just a small word for the Bridge Community Fellowship is at near Light 1 above Amish and Moore, and we have Sunday services at 10:30 a.m. Of course, everyone's invited. If y'all want to come next Sunday, that'd be great. I also want to share with you that we strive to preach the gospel and share the gospel, and we're trying to teach people how to live out the gospel. And so thank you so much. Let's have a word of prayer. Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, you are so wonderful to us. We've just celebrated the 4th of July here, our independence. But Father, we know as we come before you today that we are one nation under God. So we are under you. And we ask for your leadership and your guidance in all that we do. Father, we thank you for all the leaders here in the state of Kentucky. We ask you to guide and direct everything that they do. Help us to strive to follow you and not just our own human instincts. Father, we also are thankful for all those who are overseeing the chamber, all those of us who are members of the chamber. We ask you to lead and guide and direct each one of us. We are grateful to have such a wonderful chamber. I remember, Father, back in the late 90s, I believe it was, when there might have been 20 to 25 people come. And it's just awesome to see how many people today care about this chamber and love and support it. I ask you now to bless our food and to bless Daniel Cameron as he comes today. Watch over him and keep him in your care. Guide and direct all of us throughout the rest of this week. Help us to have a super week. And Father, I know there's many firecrackers out here in this crowd. And so I just pray you'll lead us and guide us and help us to have a little spark for you today as well. These things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Altman. If you look around the room here, you'll see information tables. This is something that we offer to chamber member businesses and organizations. Absolutely no charge. You can call our office and we'd be happy to allow you to set up one of these tables. We do it on a first come, first served basis, and I'd like to recognize all the organizations and businesses that are here. So Flashback Theater Company, the United Way of Southeastern Kentucky, the John Sherman Cooper Community Arts Center, Highlands Place Assisted Living Community, Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, Pulaski County Habitat for Humanity, First Choice Clinic of Somerset, Cumberland Falls State Resort Park, Campbellsville University, Wells Family Crafts, Benchmark Family Services, Lake Cumberland Artists Association, Eastern Kentucky University, and Somerset 106. Could we give them a big round of applause? I would encourage everybody to take a second and visit with them and get to know more about their businesses and their organizations before you leave today. There's some great companies and organizations set up here. Before we go any further with today's luncheon, I'm honored to present Kentucky State Senator Rick Girdler with a special award. Senator Girdler, could you please come forward? 2020 presented our state with unprecedented challenges and created many uncertainties that plague small businesses, healthcare providers, and educators. Many businesses' backs were against the ropes. Our teachers were trying to provide services to students in a virtual world, and our healthcare sector was working around the clock to provide care for citizens. The last thing anyone who was working hard to keep safe needed was an unwarranted lawsuit filed against them. That's why the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber joined with 60 other groups to publicly support Senate Bill 5, a bill that provides protections for healthcare providers, businesses, organizations, schools, and individuals who have reopened and are following recommended guidelines amid the coronavirus pandemic. It relates only to COVID-19 and was viewed as an essential piece of legislation to getting Kentucky's economy up and going again. Early on, State Senator Rick Girdler stepped up to get this bill passed and signed into law. He co-sponsored the bill and helped bring these needed protections to our small businesses, healthcare heroes, and teachers. So on behalf of the Partnership of Common Sense Justice, a coalition of groups and citizens who want a better legal climate in Kentucky, we are proud to present Senator Rick Girdler the 2021 Partner for Common Sense Justice Award. Those are here representing business groups, schools, and healthcare. Please come forward and join us for a picture presenting the award to Senator Girdler. Big round of applause for him.
I actually thought that me and Reba McEntire was going to sing the national anthem, but undoubtedly we don't get to.
We're going to take a picture down here with the award, and I'll present it to you if that's okay. Thanks and congratulations, Rick. So one more thing here at the top of the agenda. One thing that we've been doing at each one of our monthly luncheons is highlighting our 2020 businesses of the year. So as you know, our annual banquet was virtual this past year. So we came up with what we think is probably the most creative and inventive virtual banquet that we've seen. We're very proud of what we were able to put together, and we're highlighting a couple of those different businesses of the year and their videos at each one of our monthly luncheons. So this month, one of our Business of the Year award winners in the it's the 201 to 500 employee category, Somerset Hardwood Floor. Oh no, they're in the 501 to 1,000 employee category. I don't want to cut Steve short. He'll call me about that. 501 to 1,000 employee category, Somerset Hardwood Flooring. Our 2020 Business of the Year in the 501 to 1,000 plus employee category is one of the best in the world at what they do, and their product is sold in every corner of the country. Based in Somerset, Somerset Hardwood Flooring is one of the largest manufacturers of Appalachian hardwood flooring and lumber in the United States. With over 30 years of experience, Somerset Hardwood has grown to be a premier name in the housing industry. Their products are unparalleled in quality due to their commitment to cutting-edge machinery, quality materials, and skilled employees. Somerset Hardwood floors are 100% made in the USA and are sold in every corner of the country, putting our town on the map in flooring stores from coast to coast. Somerset Hardwood is one of only a few major hardwood flooring manufacturers to own and manage their own timberland and employ a full-time forestry staff. Their waste not philosophy has driven them to create a 100-year plan to preserve the forest that they own. In ensuring that nothing goes to waste, Somerset Hardwood takes the sawdust generated in their manufacturing process and uses it to provide heat and steam to fuel their operations. They take the additional sawdust and use it at their Somerset Biofuel division, creating premium grade clean burning pellets and their forthcoming barbecue pellets. From their humble beginnings back in 1985, Somerset Hardwood Flooring has grown to 6 facilities across Kentucky and Tennessee with 875 employees. As one of the few major employers in Somerset that is locally owned, Somerset Hardwood takes pride in making decisions that are best for the future of the company, its employees, and the community as a whole. Somerset Hardwood Flooring makes giving back to its employees and the community a priority. One major example of this is that they invest $15,000 in college scholarships for their employees' children each year. There are many local organizations that they support on an annual basis as well, including Bethany House, FCA, Boy Scouts, Project 5810, Be the Village, God's Food Pantry, First Choice Clinic, and the United Way. Additionally, employees lead fundraising teams for the March of Dimes and Relay for Life each year. With a passion for youth, Somerset Hardwood also supports various schools and youth sports teams throughout the country. Finally, they support MANA Worldwide, an organization that rescues children from the grips of poverty. Congratulations to our 2020 Business of the Year in the 501 to 1,000 plus employee category, Somerset Hardwood Flooring.
We're here today with Steve and Cameron Merrick. And Steve, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we would like to present you with the 2020 Business of the Year for the 501 to 1,000 employees.
Thank you, Troy. It's an honor to be part of this community and to work in it. And it's a lot of great employees that have made this possible. And it's been a pleasure through the years to work with the Chamber and be part of the Somerset community. And we just appreciate this honor, and we want to thank you guys for it a lot.
Steve, Cameron, once again, congratulations. On behalf of the Chamber, it's great to have people like the Merrick family for generations have been supplying jobs here, and we thank you, we thank your employees for all you've done throughout all these years.
Thank you, Matt.
Let's give them a big round of applause. Our other Business of the Year award winner we'd like to highlight today is Transamerica Agency. They won our Business of the Year award in the 6 to 10 employee category. Could we go ahead and play that video as well, please? Our Business of the Year in the 6 to 10 employee category has been helping people make a better financial future for over 100 years. Transamerica Life Insurance Company began in 1904 to serve small businesses and farmers. Transamerica remains dedicated to the level of service they originated over a century ago, providing individuals, families, and businesses with life insurance and investment products designed to help build, protect, and preserve hard-earned assets. Transamerica is proud to be a member of the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. This long-term relationship has enhanced their networking and recruiting opportunities. Even though 2020 has been a challenging year, Transamerica was able to employ 12 additional people. Transamerica is proud to have put $1 million back into our community with income and $5 million in paid claims in our community in 2020. Transamerica is heavily involved in many community events each year. Employees of the company are active in Burnside Little League, Firebrook Community Park, United Way of South Central Kentucky, American Cancer Society, and the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce, where Transamerica employee Lisa Phelps sits on the board of directors. Transamerica Somerset District serves Pulaski, Russell, Wayne, McQuarrie, Cumberland counties, and Scott County, Tennessee. Congratulations to our 2020 Business of the Year in the 6 to 10 employee category, Transamerica Life Insurance Company.
John and Lisa, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we would like to present you with the 2020 Business of the Year for 6 to 10 employees.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Tiff. We want to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for all the support and the partnership we've enjoyed and prospered from in 2020. We just want to remain a district with servants' hearts for the community. Thank you.
Congratulations again, and thank you for all you do for our community.
Big round of applause for Transamerica. Next month, we'll have a couple more of those videos for everybody, and we're real proud of the work we did there with those. I think they turned out great. At this point, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the program over to my boss, President of the Chamber for 2021, Mr. Matt Ford.
Thanks, Bobby. Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. We want to welcome all of our guests, our elected officials, and all of our membership. It's exciting to get back. It's almost normal again, so good to see each and every one of you. If you would, on your tables as well as along the wall, you'll see our world-class sponsors, our Chairman Circle sponsors, and our Ambassador Circle sponsors. If you would give all those groups a big hand. Without them, we could not do what we're doing here at the Chamber. As always, we want to thank the Center for Rural Development. What a great place to have an event. Lonnie and your crew, I don't see Lonnie right now, I saw him earlier, but what a great venue that we have here at the Chamber. The Chamber can use the Center for Rural Development. Also, Karen's Catering, good food, give them a big hand as well. At this time, I want to turn the meeting over to Tiffany Finley, and she is going to give us the new member business introductions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please join me in welcoming our newest members. If you're in attendance, please stand so you can be recognized. So the first one is From the Heart Ministry of Kentucky, Inc. Contact Angela Blankenship, Crystal Reynolds, and April Slagle. Right over here, welcome. From the Heart Ministry is a Christ-centered ministry devoted to showing the love of Jesus to people from all walks of life. Their mission is to love God and love people right where they are, just like Jesus did. HEART is an acronym for Helping Every Addict Recovering Today. The biggest part of their ministry is providing heart bags to any addiction recovery center in the state of Kentucky. They have given out over 700 bags since the ministry began in July 2020. You will also find them on the Fountain Square in downtown Somerset every Thursday evening, feeding the homeless and less fortunate of our community. For more information, please check out their Facebook at From the Heart Ministry. Thank you. The next person is not in attendance, but it's the house doctors, Bart Williams and Sunny Easom. Third, this one's awesome. We have Mac Chaos Food Truck. Are you guys in attendance? Stephen Ramquist, right over here. Okay. Mac Chaos is Somerset's newest and most exciting introduction to the food truck boom currently going on across Kentucky. Mac Chaos specializes in gourmet mac and cheese dishes with a twist of ingredients. Whether you're from the north and like Maine lobster, the south and like barbecue, the east and like Philly cheesesteak, or the west and like bacon cheeseburger, we might just have something for you. You'll be able to find their locations on their Facebook page and their website. Also, be looking out for them at events around the area. When you see the big orange noodle truck, pull on in and get your noodle on, they say. So owner Stephen Ramquist and his staff will definitely put a smile on your face. And don't forget, the chamber members get 10% off their first order. Thank you for being here. Next, also not in attendance is On-Site Solution, Inc. Contact Charles Beatty and Joe Quigley. Next, we have ProFab. Contact Bart Williams. Is he here? I thought he was. No? Okay, we'll move on. Two more. Shiner's Barbershop and Shave Parlor. Contact Dustin Scott and Austin Mullins. Are they in attendance? No? Okay. And the last, I know she's here, the Vintage Weekend, Kendra Newton. I think she's in the back, right over here. Welcome, Kendra. Located in the heart of downtown Somerset above the Mole Hole, the Vintage Weekend is a men's and women's vintage clothing store ranging from 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Everything in the store is handpicked and curated to fit in with today's trends. It's the sustainable way for fashion. Owner Kendrick Newton would like to invite you to drop by and check out their one-of-a-kind fashion for that special occasion. For more info, please visit them at Facebook at Vintage Weekend, and that's WKND. Thank you, Kendra, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tiffany. At this time, if you're an ambassador for the chamber, if you would please stand up. These people make Bobby look good, and that's hard. No, really, thank you for all you do. Each month, we recognize the ambassador for the month, and this month from Slade Properties and Eagle Realty and Development, my good friend Josh Collins. Give Josh a big hand. Josh, come take your picture if you could. Come on up. We want to get a picture. Congratulations, Josh. At this time, we would like our corporate sponsors, one of our corporate sponsors, to come up and speak. Brad Gover with Alton Blakely Ford is coming front and center. If you've not looked outside and noticed that beautiful blue Bronco, you must have came in the back door or something, but we're going to give some time for Brad to talk. He's our corporate sponsor today.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. And yes, I was the one that had to drive that Bronco over here. So I told Barry and Sean I'd have to make other arrangements to get back. I'll be driving it back. So what an awesome thing. We're very excited about the Bronco and all really that the Alton Blakely family of dealerships have to offer. But 2021 marked the 56th year that the Alton Blakely family of dealerships have been able to serve this great community that we live in and that we love so much. And 2021 also marked the return of a Ford icon, and as we just said, there it is, the Ford Bronco. Sorry, somebody's clicking those for me. There we go. But the Ford Bronco back with seven different trim levels for the Bronco and 2 or 4 doors, and also 5 different models in the Bronco Sport. Very excited about that. And the Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for the last 44 years, continues to get even better with the introduction of the all-new, all-electric F-150 Lightning. And just last month, Ford announced the all-new, we'll go on to the next slide there, the all-new Maverick, featuring a hybrid engine as standard equipment in this truck with a starting price of only $19,995 plus destination delivery, taxes, and fees. So during last year's Chamber Lunch, we updated you on the construction of the Honda facility, and you're going to see a picture here. There's where we were when we co-sponsored this lunch last year. And of course, the next slide is where we are today, fully functional, fully complete. And the very next slide shows the before showroom where we were last year and now where we are today. So with the completion that was completed soon after the lunch last year, we look forward as we speak to a grand opening that will be held a little bit later. But now for the very first time in our 56-year history, all 3 Alton Blakely dealerships are on one location, as you can see. So Alton Blakely Ford Lincoln, Alton Blakely Honda, and the new auto outlet from Alton Blakely, all together on one convenient campus, offering our customers literally a one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and collision repair. So around our dealership, we like to say all the best since 1965. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad. Our other corporate sponsor has elected to donate their time to our guest speaker, but I do want to recognize our other corporate sponsor, and that is United Cumberland Bank right here at the center. If you all would, please give them a big hand. We are excited. Every guest speaker we have, you know, Bobby puts a lot of work into getting guest speakers, and we have got another great speaker for you here today. If you would, bear with me as I go through the introduction. Daniel J. Cameron is the 51st Attorney General for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. He is the first African American independently elected to statewide office in the great state of Kentucky, and the first Republican to hold the AG's office since 1948. Attorney General Cameron leads approximately 200 employees in our 4 offices across the state. As Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the Commonwealth, he is committed to defending the laws of the Commonwealth, protecting the Kentuckians, fighting the drug epidemic, and being a voice for the voiceless, including victims of child abuse and human trafficking. Cameron grew up in E-Town, graduated from John Hardin High School. He attended the University of Louisville, where he played football, and graduated from Lewis D. Branding School of Law. After graduation, he completed a federal clerkship prior to his election as Attorney General. Cameron practiced law for Frost Brown Todd's Louisville office, and he lives in Louisville, Kentucky with his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, a big, big hand.
Thank you all. You all are very, very kind, and thank you for that very kind introduction. Pretty soon I'm just going to take to telling people that I'm Mackenzie Cameron's husband. I got married last year, and certainly been a blessing to be married to her, but I do appreciate that very kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to join you all for this monthly luncheon. And I'm certainly thankful to your Executive Director, Bobby, for allowing me to speak for a few minutes this afternoon. And congratulations to you all and the Chamber Board on being recognized by KCCE for your excellence in the midst of a really challenging year. Senator Girdler, I just came in towards the end of you receiving your award, but I certainly want to echo the Chamber's thanks for your efforts to protect small business, healthcare workers, and teachers. My wife is a teacher, 3rd grade in Oldham County, so I have a newfound respect for the challenges that they undertook during this pandemic. This past March, I was here in Somerset and saw a lot of you all, whether it was Martin or I see Bobby, or there was a few that I saw. Donna I see here as well. But a lot of you all I got to see. I know Mayor Keck is not here this afternoon, but I got to see him as well. Lonnie Lawson, thank you as well, Center for Rural Development, for hosting us today. But it's so good to see everyone, and it's certainly an honor to be back in Pulaski County. And as many of you all know, we've stolen one of your own. Eddie Montgomery just recently came on in our office as head executive director of our Special Prosecutions Unit. Honored to have him serve after having him serve in this community for so long and so well. So we are excited to have him as part of our Attorney General's team. And if you wouldn't mind giving him a warm applause here. Recently, I was asked by a person in another county that I was traveling in to clarify the difference between the government and corporate America. And I very politely explained that one controls politics and the other is the government. So I am honored to be with you all that make up the government, in my judgment, in many, many important ways. And I know that COVID-19 has presented unprecedented challenges for the business community. It has disrupted nearly every aspect of our daily lives, and as community leaders and business owners, you have encountered nearly impossible situations and faced it head on. I commend the way all of you have navigated these difficulties and continue to move forward. Despite the challenges of COVID, our office has pushed forward with our promise to improve the public safety outcomes for the men, women, and children of all 120 counties. Since the start of the year, we have continued this work under a framework that I've taken to calling the covenant with the Commonwealth. Whether in the biblical context or in the legal sense, all of us here are familiar with the term covenant. In its most basic form, it is an exchange of promises between two parties. And so as the Attorney General, I'm promising each of you and all Kentuckians that our office will carry out its duty to defend our common values, to be a watchman at the gate, and to be a good neighbor to our 120 counties. When it comes to defending our common values, I believe it's this office's duty to reflect and protect the values of all Kentuckians. If you travel from one end of the Commonwealth to the other, whether you're in Fulton County or Pike County, you encounter diverse landscapes, regional dialects, and communities both large and small. While these things make us different from one another, we certainly share plenty in common. We work hard, we take care of our families, and we want our children to have better opportunities than our own. We are a people of faith, and for many of us, it guides how we live and how we treat our neighbors. We support and cherish our communities, always unafraid to celebrate and learn from our shared history. And over the last 18 months, our office has vigorously defended those common values. The unique circumstances of COVID-19 forced us to consider how to balance public health with constitutional rights. As business leaders, you had to grapple with similar issues while also sustaining your businesses. Now, I've maintained from the very beginning, whether you were then President Trump or now President Biden or Governor Beshear or your mayor or your county judge Kelly or any of our magistrates, any of them, that you all had a responsibility to make sure that you kept your citizens safe. I wholeheartedly respect that. But we have an equally important responsibility to protect the constitutional rights of our citizens, and I hope that we've struck the right balance here in the Commonwealth. So whether it was standing with Kentucky churches and Danville Christian Academy to protect the right to gather together for worship services or educational instruction, or with businesses to navigate COVID regulations, we did so out of fealty to the Constitution. Former Kentucky Supreme Court Chief Justice John Palmore once said that common sense must not be a stranger in the house of the law. Those of you in this room know the importance that common sense plays in your everyday business affairs. And I think it is fair to say that over the last year, we've seen too many decisions made by our state government that were devoid of common sense. Take, for instance, the fact that a local health department told an agritourism business that despite complying with mask and sanitation protocols, they could not allow more than 10 customers within their 96,000 square foot facility. Or the fact that several large-scale manufacturers had to either shut down their plants or significantly reduce the size of their workforce, even though they had taken great pains to follow CDC guidelines. Losing sight of common sense meant a loss of jobs and a loss of livelihoods, some of which will take time and a long time to recover. Growing up in E-Town, I had the opportunity to work in my parents' coffee and sandwich shop. It was called Zach's Coffee, and my parents named it after my great-grandfather, grandfather Zach. I saw them work day in and day out, night and day, to keep that small business afloat. They would scrutinize bills and change their menu to reflect items that were either selling well or items that weren't selling so well. So I know firsthand that your anxieties are often great and that your profit margins are often small. That is why it's been our goal from the beginning to help keep businesses open while protecting public health. Though we have not been successful in all of those cases, it is nevertheless our responsibility to continue to defend your rights. And in terms of our role as the watchman at the gate, we're focusing heavily on human trafficking and the opioid epidemic with every resource that we can muster. According to the Traffic Institute, which looks at federal human trafficking cases, Kentucky ranked 9th in the country for new human trafficking cases in 2019. Human trafficking is often unrecognized and underreported, but it can happen in any community, and Pulaski County is no exception. Earlier this year, we launched a statewide anti-human trafficking campaign to increase awareness about the signs of labor and sex exploitation. Our message is a simple one: your eyes save lives. The campaign, which is funded by a grant from the Department of Justice, is our way of empowering and mobilizing citizens, law enforcement, and community leaders to help identify and report incidents of human trafficking. The Your Eyes Save Lives campaign focuses on regions with the highest incidences of human trafficking, and Pulaski County is one of them. As part of the campaign, we placed 2 billboard ads here in this county, one on Highway 80 and one on South Highway 27. These ads encourage Kentuckians to visit youreyesavelives.ky.gov to learn more about the signs of labor and sex trafficking. As an extension of this campaign, we also join forces with local businesses and industry leaders to provide human trafficking awareness training for their employees. Your employees, as you know, interact with hundreds, sometimes thousands of individuals in the community every week, and they are in a unique position to help identify and report suspected human trafficking. So this is my plea to you to consider collaborating with us to train your employees to recognize and report the signs of human trafficking. If you or your company are interested in helping us in this fight, please let me or Barry Dunn, my Deputy Attorney General, who's seated here in the front, know, and we'll certainly get you in contact with the right individuals in our office to help assist in this effort. And in addition to these efforts, our Human Trafficking Unit has made progress in tracking down and apprehending traffickers in Kentucky. Over the last several months, our investigations have led to the arrest of a Carter County man and a Jefferson County man, each arrested for sex trafficking of minors. These cases are not isolated incidents, and there are men, women, boys, and girls in communities across the Commonwealth who need our help to put an end to human trafficking. As watchmen at the gate, we are also working to combat the drug epidemic. The 2019 overdose report, which is the most recent data from the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy, showed a 5% increase in overdose deaths from 2018. In all, we've lost 1,316 individuals to lethal overdoses in 2019. Provisional data from the CDC indicates that we will see a heartbreaking increase in overdose deaths when the final numbers are reported for 2020. These trends are a sobering reminder of the work that remains to be done and underscores the importance of collaboration with our local, state, and federal law enforcement, as well as community and civic leaders. Within the last year, we've participated in law enforcement efforts to investigate and prosecute those who seek to destroy the lives of Kentuckians by bringing drugs into our communities. In fact, last fall, I had the occasion to meet with Jim Carroll, the former director of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, to discuss emerging drug threats here in the Commonwealth. As many of you know, that office oversees the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Program, or as most of you know it, the HIDTA program. Pulaski County is part of the Appalachia HIDA program, which means it qualifies for additional resources to combat illicit drug trafficking. It also means Pulaski County is eligible for a greater degree of coordination among local, state, and federal law enforcement groups. This program is a force multiplier when it comes to drug and addiction efforts in the Commonwealth. Part of our work to confront the opioid epidemic includes holding accountable those corporations who exacerbated the crisis. We have made significant progress in our settlement discussions with McKesson, AmerisourceBergen, Cardinal Health, and Johnson & Johnson, collectively called the Big Four. These negotiations are a collaborative effort among attorneys general from across the country, and we are optimistic that a final settlement will be reached in the near future. Of course, for Kentucky, to receive the full amount it is owed under this settlement, we had to make and come to an agreement within the state with our counties and cities on any pending litigation that they have against the Big Four. And thanks to Martin Hatfield and others in this room, during this past legislative session, we joined forces with KCO and KLC to support House Bill 427, which ensures local governments and local stakeholders will receive funds to help with opioid abatement. Under this new law, settlement proceeds from certain opioid lawsuits will be split evenly between the Commonwealth and local governments. The law contains a list of programs that will qualify for funding, and we are working to provide further guidance in the event that those funds are received. And make no mistake, our collective efforts are certainly making a difference. Just a few months ago, we announced a $573 million multi-state settlement with one of the world's largest consulting firms, McKinsey & Company. The settlement resolves allegations that McKinsey helped Purdue Pharma, as well as other companies, unduly profit from the opioid epidemic. Under this agreement, Kentucky received $10.8 million, a significant down payment in our fight against the epidemic. The opioid epidemic has been called the public safety challenge of our lifetime, and the future of our children and our communities depend upon our ability to collaborate effectively. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to work alongside those of you here today and our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners to ensure that every idea, resource, and partnership is brought to bear in this fight. Recently, we partnered with Commonwealth's attorneys, including your own David Dalton, to challenge a parole board directive that gives a new parole hearing to more than 40 of Kentucky's worst criminals. One of these criminals committed a heinous crime in this very community. We fought the parole board in court on behalf of Kentucky crime victims, and we were glad to see the parole board rescinded the directive. We will continue to work on this important case until the judge issues a final ruling. Now, turning finally to what it means to be a good neighbor. I'm reminded of Pulaski County native John Sherman Cooper, who was known in these parts affectionately as the poor man's judge. He was responsible at one time for adjudicating eviction notices. While doing this difficult task, he was moved to find new housing or give his own money to help his downtrodden neighbors. Like Senator Cooper, I know that many of you work day in and day out to be good neighbors to your communities. You've created an economic climate where people can live, work, raise families, and flourish. If this past year has taught us anything, it is the importance of looking out for one another. And so in our efforts to follow your example and to be a good neighbor, we have partnered with stakeholders from across the Commonwealth to launch a search warrant task force which will conduct a comprehensive review of the search warrant process in Kentucky. The creation of the task force fulfills a promise to develop best practices for the effective and safe service of search warrants in the Commonwealth. The task force consists of members of the judiciary, law enforcement, legislators, prosecutors, local officials, the public advocate, the Kentucky Conference of the NAACP, and members of the general public. Together, Our goal is to establish Kentucky as a national model for how search warrants should be pursued and served. As many of you know, we have held 2 meetings, and we look forward to being back in this very building in October for one of our meetings. Part of my job is to be a convening authority on a number of policy issues and to work with those who stand on the front lines of addressing many of our public safety challenges. I am grateful to have the opportunity to serve Kentuckians and to work alongside representatives from every facet of life to address these challenges. Each of you play a prominent role in growing and strengthening Pulaski County, and I certainly appreciate your commitment. Please do not hesitate to reach out to our office if we can ever be of assistance to you in any way. Again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you briefly, and may God bless you and continue to bless this great community. Thank you.
At this time, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I would like to present Daniel Cameron, a friend of the Chamber. Thank you for your service. Thank you again. Next month will be no different. We'll have another great speaker. Our very own Congressman Hal Rogers will be here. Please mark your calendar. That is August the 3rd at noon. So please be here and be ready for that. At this time, we're going to give away, we've got all kinds of drawings that we would like to give away. So get those tickets out. And the first one, this is 20% to M&W Printing, 20% off of M&W Printing. I'll just go through the last 4 numbers to speed it along. 7802, 7802 is the winner. Just raise your hand. We'll have somebody bring it to you. 7802. Anybody? Well, once, twice? All right, roll on the next one. I ought to be able to do that, hadn't I, Chris? Next one is 7721. 7721. Well, Bobby, did we actually give these away? Okay, all right. I didn't check mine. Maybe I won. Okay, the Broncos coming up, yes. 7822. 7822. Right here. All right, we've got a winner. Give her a hand. Next up is $20 off RB Dry Cleaners. And if you've got ticket number 7762, raise your hand. We'll get you way in the back, all the way in the back. Give her a hand as well. Next up is Buffalo Wings and Rings, $25 gift card, 7647. All right, Jeller right there. We've got one more of those. And we're going to go to 7675. 7675. All right, we've got another winner. He's excited. Next up, we have got a $20 gift card to Hardee's. And the number there is, if I can turn it around right, 7753. 7753. That's Mike Whitaker's Hardee's. All right. Thanks, Mike. Next, 2 VIP MMF tickets. Now, I don't think you can buy these very seldom. So, 2 VIP tickets, 7864. 7864 right over here. Give her a big hand. All right. All right, we have 3 of these. We're going to we'll give one mug out at a time. Inside of the mug, you have also got a Texas Roadhouse gift card for $25, and this is donated by our sponsor, United Cumberland Bank. 7793, 7793, way in the back. Oh, you got 2 of you going, I think. Wait, Tiff. All right, we've got one more. 7651. 7651. Anybody? Yes. All right, Troy. One more of those. Okay. 7658. 76 Hope's way in the back. All right. Next up, we have got this Bronco prize. Brad, you want to tell them what's in there? There is a Bronco in the bag. It's maybe not a large Bronco, but it is a Bronco. But my understanding is a pretty cool gift. It's donated by our other corporate sponsor today in Appalachian Family Dealerships. And you got 7677. You win that. 7677. That's the big prize of the day. Oh, way in the back. Yeah. All right. Give her a hand. Once again, don't forget, next month, Congressman Rogers will be here. Please mark your calendar once again for August 3rd at noon. I like putting people on the spot to give the Pledge of Allegiance, and no different than normal. Martin Hatfield, if you would, please lead us in the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You're dismissed.